Windows form, let's say FRM. Yes. Okay, so this time we're going to add a button here. So where's the button? Let me type right there. So just click on add. Just drag it there and then let's name this as pick. And then we're going to have here VPN pick. Okay, what is this? That's VPN pick. So, ayun. Button siya na gamay. Tingnan appeal. Okay. All right. So, di na natin mag-anog na design. Anyway, we're just going to discuss loop. So, as we all know, loop is it's a loop or repetition or iteration. It's a process of repeating a statement or statements multiple number of times based on a certain condition or when a certain condition is met. Now, in Visual Basic, just like if we compare it to Java, medyo lahi lang siya. Kasi in Java, there are only 3 or like 4, no? The other one is for each loop, no? So aside from or additional of while, do while, and for loop. But here in Visual Basic, you have you have actually like 6 siguro. So we have do loop while, do while loop, do loop until, do until loop. We also have while and we have for, no, for loop. And we even have for each loop. Okay. So to start with, let's say we are going to ask the user in, by the way, just like other programming na ay native na input box si uh, Visual Basic, which is input box. So we can actually ask a value from it, no, through input. So if you guys don't want any, if you don't want to create any form, no, like you just get a value from the user, you can use input box. So what's this input box is that you can have something like, let's say we're going to have a num, create as, and then, so let's say we have num is equal to input box. This is the native uh, input box of Visual Studio. No, it has been existing for even in Visual, even sa Visual, ano pa katong Visual Studio na 6.0 until 2008 until today naghapon siya. So let's say for an instance, we are going to ask the user to enter an integer or something, a number. So this is like a parang quick ano, no, for instead of mag-create ka of form. Okay, so when you actually run this one, it will just ask you to okay, wait, where are you? Sige, mulaton sa nato ang iyang running program. There. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. Add sa dito sa project to choose a startup. So this time we're going to click on the LCC week 3 properties, and then we're going to change the startup by, I guess I changed this into yeah, anyway, form 1, and then just save it and then run again. So, oops. Hala, di tayo
Sa loop to, sir.
kanina ito, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wala lagi siya din eh. Okay. Ay, ito na di ay. Sorry. Okay. Now, save and then run. Okay, so there, no, enter a number. So again, it may seem to be dull, only has okay and cancel, of course, but this is just a native form where you can ask the user to enter a value or any value. Now let's using loop, we are going to iterate this one. So if you're going to enter this without loop, of course, it will only prompt you once. But if you're going to, let's say, the moment you click enter, or let's say in the first pa lang, dali na to sa form load ibutang, okay, the moment the program is going to run, it will ask you a certain numbers. It will repeat the input facts. So this time we have here, let's say, let's start with do loop while. Okay. So first is we have a CTR one, and then we have here do while. So do while CTR less than or equal to, let's say, we are going to ask the user to as to how much he wants to repeat the process. So him, pwede na po directly, no? Pwede na po diretso 5, pero what if we want the user to ask or to specify kung pila iyang gusto ibutang na value. So let's say for an instance, enter a, okay, just wait for a while na kay mag-attendance sa lain. Naman good may program. We have a program actually today in my other school. Kasi it's Murag Teachers Day yata yan karon, celebration of World Teachers Day. Nag-celebrate po ba dira ang LCC? Wala. Hello? Lagi mo maningog. Ningog po mo. Nangatulog na mo, no?
Wala mi kabalo, sir, pero happy Teacher's Day, sir.
Ah,
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
sir.
Happy
Gcash
Teacher's Day,
di man ko
sir.
mulawat og kuan,
Tuesday, sir.
greetings. Dapat
Happy
kuan.
Teacher's Day, sir!
Dapat kuan, Gcash.
Pait, sir, pait.
Pait di ay pait. Bitaw, no? Sige, it na joke lang ay. Wait na ha, mag ano sa ako sa attendance ako dito daan. CDI, sorry. Okay, there you are. All right, sige. So we have here, if you want to base your program into like, you can actually do this one. No? So do while CTR, do while loop is a loop that it's still a loop, the same with other loops, by the way. And then, yeah, you can have constant value here like 5, 10. But if you want your program now that na mag-ask siya from user kung saan i-input, and then you can ask something like this one. So dimval is equal to input, enter a number or a counter for your loop, something like that. Because sa loop we have, diba, parang counter controlled loop, sentinel controlled loop, and we even have flag controlled loop and counter control, sentinel, end of file, and flag controlled loop. So this one is a counter sample of a counter controlled loop. Okay, so after we enter the value, we are going to also ask the user to enter a value for our loop. So let's say for an instance, we are going to have here, let's say input, and then input right here. Okay. And then we're going to for do-while loop, you have to have a, we call this one a incrementation, either decrementation or incrementation, which is the update value, right? So this is the initialization, of course, and then this is the expression where it sets the loop to end, and then this is the update of CTR so that there is a loop. Okay, kasi kung dili nimo na siya butangan og update statement, mag forever loop na siya. So sana all sa loop na forever. Okay? So forever loop or infinite loop. Okay? So mo ni problem sa loop, no? Bisan ginapatuyok-tuyok na ta, happy gihapon ta. Okay? Sama sa akong mahigugma ta, di ba? Bisan kabalo na ta nga gipatuyok-tuyok na ta niya pero happy gihapon ta. Okay?
Sir, bunal,
So,
sir.
bitaw inana, no, that's the same thing, no, in loop. Okay, we enjoy a lot because inana like especially kung sana nahigugma ka sa isa ka tao bisan ipatuyok ka niya, so happy lang gihapon ka bisan kabalo ka nga gipatuyok na ka niya. All right, so what we are going to do with the input, let's say we are going to get the total value for this one, so we can actually do that. So what happened with this one? Okay, so let's separate na lang this one into, or initialize the input by 0. Okay, and then so we have here the input, and then we are going to get the total value. So let's say our total for the input, for every input of user. So as equals the input. Okay, and then i-display nato siya sa message box. But later on, you will realize na noon. So mura gihapon sa relasyon, no, bitaw. So later on, you will realize na this one, aside, instead na, let's check no kung iya ba siyang i-add or either i-concatenate. But since explicitly gibutang nato siya as, though this one is variant declaration or variant type, but we specify that this one should be integer value. So I guess i-add up niya ang value. Okay, so let's say the total is, we have here total. Okay, so let's run the program now. And so enter how many, or enter a counter loop value. So let's say 5. So enter a counter loop gihapon akong ano. So enter number dapat ni. Okay. Let's stop this program and then enter number. And then if you want na siya like gusto ka kung kapila na siya ka loop, so you can actually include it as in your program. Enter a number or something like enter number like no? So enter number 1, so enter number 2, mag-ana ang style sa imong program. Okay, so let's say 5. So enter a number 1. So let's say we have here 8. Enter a number 2, 23. Let's say 4. And then so have here the total is 35. Pila dito ka enteran for a while. 5 na ba to? So if you want to fetch the previously entered values, you can concatenate it to a string, or let's say hold, no? So you keep on holding to someone's attention and feelings. Kita, bisan di pa tuyok na ka sa loop, i-hold lang gihapon. Sige, bitaw. So you have here hold plus equals. So pwede nato i-concatenate ang value. So which is input. Concatenate nato para we would know kung unsa to nga value ang gipang enter. So we have the okay. Okay, so we have here the total or the total sum of hindi niyo ibutang as total sum of hold is and then okay. So at least you will know kung sa na mga values ang imong input or enter. So let's get to run our program and then we have here let's say 5. So 2, 5, 6. Katulo lang lagi. Wait. 2, 5, 6 is 13. So what happened? Why? Katulo lang siya. So the val 5 ba kung enter? No? 5, no? And then we have here val input CPR plus okay, CPR ato na ano ba? Kulang dahil ko plus 1. Sorry. CPR plus 1 ay okay. This is equivalent to CPR equals CPR plus 1. This is also equivalent to total equals total plus input. So mga shorthand notation. So I believe so. Namoy na sa inyo ang programming, no? Sa mga basic programming niyo. This is the same with input plus. So shorthand notation na siya ng mga declaration. So instead of inani, you can actually write it in the way I did here. Okay? So, ang update tayo kanina is CPR mountong katulo lang siya ang 5 times. So, we have let's say 6. So, we're going to enter values here. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, gagmay lang, 4, and then last value. So, the total sum of 2, 4, 6, 8, 4, 8 is 32. So, I guess 2 plus 4, it's 6, 12. Then, 12 plus 8, that's 20, 20, 24 plus 8 is 32. So, I guess tama ang program. So, yeah, that's do while loop. Okay? So, there is also another version for this one. It's do loop while. So, all you just need to do is ibaliktad lang mo na siya. I mean, you just put this one or cut this one off and then put it here. So, do loop while. Sa baba po siya ni maibutang. Okay? So, the difference between the two is that i-run sa nato ni and then we'll see the difference. Okay. So, let's say we enter 3. This is do loop while. Kanina do while loop to siya. Okay? So, the same. Ang difference nila if ibutang nimo siya dire is let's say for an instance ang nimo na siya as less than lang no without equal and then let's say mo enter ka o value for your CTR as 1 so it won't ask you or it won't go here in this block of do while loop because it's already evaluated as false. So basically that's for do while loop. It does not it does not execute the statement inside of your do while once it is already false because it's precondition, no? So this is do while loop is precondition. So precondition. What's the difference between precondition and postcondition? So when we talk about precondition and postcondition, ang precondition, this is do, kaning sa do while, a do while loop. Okay, ang isa is do, loop, while. So anyway, lahi sila. So it's just these are ang lahi sila constructs, only that ang difference naman ni butang lang nimo siya diri sa loop while. However, they only do the same. Parang ang objectives nila or ang goal nila is to repeat the process. But what's really the difference between the two is that when we talk about precondition, it's evaluated first before executing this statement. So just like prepaid cards, no? If prepaid imong SIM card, you'll need to buy load muna bago ka maka-send, maka-text of messages or whatever you want to do kung makapaload na ka. So ang kaning post condition, this is a construct wherein it guarantees muna to execute at least once before niya i-evaluate either true or false ba siya. So maghatag sa siya chance. So mura siya postpaid, no? So ang postpaid cards kanang gamit sa ka text, tawag, and then mag-internet, and then you will receive the bill, and then after receiving the bill, mao to imong bayaran. So similarly, kung sa mga restaurant or sa mga like mga pagkaunan, ang precondition is or ang DoWhile loop is similar to fast food chain. Nang dili ka makakaon unless nag-order ka, then bayaran nimo siya daan. Okay? So ang sa post condition mura siya sa mga normal na karinderya, kaon sa kadaan bago mo siya bayaran. Pero there are other, I guess, kalendarya na magbayad sa siguro kadaan bago makakaon. Pero most likely, no, pag kuan lang, ang kuan sa kakaon sa ka din, lakaw bitaw. Kaon sa ka din, kaon sa ka din, saka pa kang bayad. Tama ba? Ano ba mga normal na kalendarya? Mga ano lang?
Yes sir,
Kilit-kilit.
sa mga
Oo.
inato sir.
Sa mga inato. Okay, anak. So kung sa transportation pa, kung sa jeep or sa mga bus, di ba, sakay ka, then bago ka makabayad. Pero sa mga airplane, mga LRT, nasa kay payment before ka makasakay. So that's precondition and post-condition difference. Okay? Kung sa relasyon po, para makarelate mo, relasyon, magugma jud, no? Kung i-relate nato ning precondition and post-condition sa isa ka tao, let's say sa isa ka babae, kaning precondition na babae, kung naay nanguyab sa iya niya, wala siya feelings sa lalaki na naga-court sa iya, then di niya tagaan og chance. No, dili niya tagaan chance because precondition siya. I don't have feelings for you, so no chance at all. So dili niya tagaan chance na mag-effort ang guy. So dili niya execute ni kumbaga. Okay? Kaning post condition kung sa pa na babae pa na nga gipanguyaban nimo, and then though wala siya feelings para sa imo pero pwede kanya tagaan ng chance. And then saka na siya mag-decide whether kung mapadayon ba or dili. Okay? So inana siya, di ba? Okay. So kanina we ran this program, dili nag-stop dayon siya directly. Pag input nimo sa input nimo og 1, because 1 is less than 1 is false, it means stop na, meaning dili siya mosulod sa imong heart. Bitaw dili siya mosulod sa imong sa while block, which is here, no? So if ever na do loop while imong gamiton, okay? If ever na do loop while, by the way, why I'm teaching you this one, it's because there are instances na let's say mga for string manipulation or mga calculations, though syempre atong end goal diri is maka database ta, sometimes dili kay nato ni most of the time dili kay nato magamit ang mga loops, only for the instance na mag-access ta og mga data and i-compare nato siya sa i-input sa user. So kailangan yun nato loops. Okay? So if you don't have idea of loops, of course, you'll find it difficult to process that. So in the future, in our succeeding weeks. So Yan, do loop while, and then let's say mag-input ta og 1. Earlier, nag-input ta og 1 for our do while loop. Wala ta ka sulod sa iyang heart, or bitaw wala ta ni sulod sa input, enter a number. This time, nakasulod siya kaisa lang ni siya mosulod. And then pag na-realize sa girl na wala siya feelings, okay, stop na dayon. Okay? Nakuha niyo class ang analogy? Nakuha ang analogy between do loop while and do basta na mix na no, basta nang Maria ang learn ninyo kay gugma-gugma matong giingon ni Sir, oy uyab-uyab. Hello. How are you there? Bitaw? Did you guys get the analogy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Sige. Nakuha. Unsa kay itong precondition?
Sa do
Babae, sir. Babae, sir.
Tapos
Ah.
dira niya i-kuha pa niya, so i-verify pa niya daan, tapos dira niya execute. While ang postcondition, execute niya daan, tapos i-verify niya daan.
Yes, Dulce. Tira Dulce. Thank you for that, Dulce, no? So, naminaw dyan ay si JM Dulce. Okay. All right. So, thank you, Mr. Dulce. Okay, naka-outfit man si Dulce sa iyang profile. So, asa kagikan anak Dulce? Mag-JS prom ka na. Okay, so alright. Ay, hindi mo mamalikan kayo malingog class. Okay, so this is do loop while and do while loop. Okay, how about the other one, which is do loop until and do until loop. So we also have another variation of looping in Visual Basic, which is called do loop until or do until loop. So ang do loop until is murang gamiton dire instead of while until. Ana lang. However, okay, so i-run na to siya without changing anything. Let's say, nagbutang ta dire og let's say, equal sign na nato na siya para makita lang ninyo. Let's say for an instance na atay nag-input ta og 4. So, wala siya. Okay? Why is that so? Because ang do until loop in this programming is it should be using greater than instead of less than. So mao na ilang difference. Dili ka preferred na gamiton nimo ang greater kasi until ang isa while habang ang until ang hangtod, no? So ganina habang ang until hangtod. So hangtod mo abot siya sa imuha bitaw. Hangtod mo abot siya og hangtod mo abot siya og val. So mo na ika difference ni do loop while or do while loop ug do loop do until loop. So i-change lang nato siya into greater than. So meaning hangtod mo abot siya val mo loop ang kaning looping structure na do until loop. So let's say 4. So ayan, ano na ang loop ni kana na. So mo na yung bantayan sa do loop until o do loop while and do loop until. Okay? Or do until loop and do loop while. So pag do loop pag while gani basta na while imong timan-an is ang imong gamiton is less than. Depende siya, greater than imong gamiton if like going back. So let's say mag-decrement ka, no? Pero pag until, di ba kung sa Bisaya pa na ang while habang, ang until hangtod. So hangtod na apa siya, napay kinabuhi o padayon. Ang isa habang na ikinabuhi padayon. Pareha ba sa Bisaya? Habang ug hangtod kitagalog ra. Hangtod ug habang. Pareha ba? Murag pareha no? Or lahi?
Samtang, sir, samtang. Ang while.
Samtang, Ang while samtang, thank you for that, samtang di ay. So, ang while samtang, ang until hangtod. So, going forward, no? Ang until going forward, ang while samtang in a in a way na napaka sa kana na situation. O ayan, ana ang difference nila. So, again, the same with do until or loop until or kani siya, same lang gyapon na siya. So, only that lahi ang, so parehang gyapon na siya kanina precondition and postcondition. So, diha na pod mag ano ang precondition and ang postcondition. So, yan, 4 na to daan, no? And then, we also have, by the way, napod tayo while. So, kani si while, similar lang with the while na nakasanayan na to. So, let's say for an instance, we have here, while A is less than or equal to, wait, wala dito tayo variable, sorry. Okay, dili lang ako i-run pero same lang na siya with other loops. 5 and then yan, no? Whatever you want to do right here is i-execute na ni while. So that's while. Okay? So in visual, katong mga previous na visual version or visual basic na versions, kay when na while, tapos while when, karon end while na para ma-pattern sa end sub, end for, and ano. Okay? So that's do loop until, do loop while, do while loop, and do while, do until loop, and while. Okay, the other one is for loop. Kani siya, medyo special siya na loop sa Visual Studio because, Visual Basic because you can actually use the for to create a variable. Unlike sa while loop, kanina mga loops, dili ka create of variable. No? So, I mean, dili mo siya mahimo as you'll need to first create a variable before you can use them. No? Like for an instance, naghimo sa tag variable na CTR or nag-declare sa tag variable na CTR before we can actually something like use them, no? So it's a for loop, no need, no? Because the for keyword is already a parang a definition where you can actually, it's automatically treated as a variable already. Okay, so we're going to remove all this one. Ato na siyang i-surround o comment. Surround, where is your surround here? Comments. Okay. Sige, because we're going to design here. Okay, direta magputang sa atong program. Alright, so we have here, pwede na gyapon dito ang for loop ha, pero dili lang nako siya i-discuss. So let's say we are going to use combo box. Okay. Alright, so I will just make this bigger para everyone is able to see it. So this is, let's say, CBO. Okay, kung gusto ipangalan na combo box 1 na lang. Anyway, if you will be using combo box, it would be better if it starts with the prefix CBO. But since I don't have anything na special na buhaton sa kanina combo box, ay combo box 1 na lang ako na. Okay? And then I'll just go here in the font. Open nga naman eh. Yan. So, font, where are you? Yan. So, wala na siyang padakon diri into, say, 18. Okay. So, para visible siya. Okay? So, right here, what I'm going to do is, i-function na lang sa nako ni para dili siya gugot. Okay? And then, So in the form for in our load o form loops load, which is mo ni ang main, kumbaga di ba, main function pa sa Java. So then when we run our program, ma-load dito ang value sa kani. No? So mo ni atong dili ta og repetition wherein every time mag-loop siya, dili mag-add og value. So using for loop. Okay? So let's say for an instance, for CTR is equal to 1 to 10. Ano siya ka-simple, no? Then we have here combo box 1 items that add, tapos let's say 1 1 CTR. Okay. So, as simple as that, no? So kung naamoy sa inyong design pohon, like for an instance, naamoy mga gusto ibutang sa inyong combo box na mag-generate og numbers from 1 to 100, particularly sa mga day, no? Like say maghimo kag sa imong calendar na kay combo box na month, day, and year. So we can actually use this one. So let's run the program. Okay, so ato na nato siya. Patience is a virtue. Okay, so oops, ang sama na. Yan. So there you are, nakay numbers from 1 to 10. So ang structured kayo ang programming constructs of loops here, especially for loop, kasi you're just going to ask, no, ay parang ang imong iwan for 1 to 10. So it will now give you numbers from 1 to 10. Mura lagi subo nimo na, okay, display kag 1 to 10, and then when it loops, iyahang buhaton is i-add sa combo box. Okay? So, yan, no? That is for if you're going to use for loop. Now, what if sa do while or do loop while, i-apply nato siya dire. Of course, this will give you so let's say do a while na lang, kaya na naman tayo loop kanina. So sa while loop, you'll need to declare first a variable. So let's say we have here num is equal to 1, and then while, medyo daghan pa siya pasikot-sikot. So num is less than or equal to 10, and then let's copy paste this one, and up here 2. Okay. And then this is num. If we get to run our program, this would also give you numbers from 1 to 10, but you use other loop, okay, which is while loop. Okay, na ba tayo questions? Na ba yung questions, guys? Third year naman mo, no?
Yes, sir.
Yan, may cute yung mga tingog, oy. It's sad. It's sad. Dapat tayo ning attendance niya, may oo. Kano mo ato? Oo. Okay, so niya mag-TikTok pa man sa atong klase. Oh, what happened? Wala lagi. Ay, okay. So this one is what we called infinite loop. Wala dahil ta nagbutang og num plus is equal to 1. Wala tayo update statement. So dapat natin update statement para mag-change, para mag-ano ang num, no, ang value. You have here, and then you also have here. So this is using for loop, this is using while loop. Okay? So instead of, kasi kung mag-ano ka, using combo box ka, like wala ka nag-loop or wala ka idea about loop, syempre this is what you will do. No? Let's say you don't have you don't have any idea about loop kay wala na tudlo. So diretso lang mo sa kuan. So imong ibuhat is items that add. So inani mong button 1 and all through until 2, 3, 4, and so 3, And then 4 until 10. Yeah, what if 100 ang ipa-display? 100 pud ka what sinanggo imong buhaton, no? Murag manual, I mean, gi 100 pud ka buok imong combo box 3 dot items that add. So which is not okay. So dili siya, it's manageable, but as a programmer, we should be lazy. Lazy enough to find an efficient way and some other parang efficient way of mas malesen na to ang time in coding. So because this is probably what you will do if wala may idea about loops. Okay? So let's say naghimo ka og kuan. Let's say this is for a day, a month, day, and then year. Okay? Yeah. So example lang, no? Sama to the C group ada. Sama to siya dewi. Okay? And then let's put it here. So, of course, na naman tayo calendar dire, pero let's say lang, no? Trip mo, inani mong gusto buhaton sa imong birthday. Okay? So, the other one is month, day, and year. And then, what is this? Okay, so we have here birth date. So, let's say month na ang isa day, ang isa year. So, ato to i-change sa ato ang ano dire. So, we have here TBO month. Then, kadaog ko. So, kadaog ko sa raffle ba niya? Natin ko dire na klase. Okay, wait for a while ha. CBO, CBO day. And then you have CBO year. All right, so this time, we can have another form for this one also. Let's say 1 to 31. Although dili tanan month na ay 31, pero let's ano na lang that one. Ito na lang siyang let's assume na lang na every month is 31. Okay, so that's for day. And then let's say we have dim year is equal to, mag-start lang ta with 1990. And then, ang CBO year, we're going to add here, say, CPR plus day, or day plus CPR. Pwede na ihapon, other way around. Okay, so, sorry. Year. Excuse me. So what happened here is that we'll need to convert this into an integer value. Yan, and then what happens? Add. Okay, so i-try na to without C or wala na to siya i-convert into an integer. If what will happen? Yeah, so if it works, then okay siya, mas okay. So have here 1 to 31. Di na nyo makita, pero that's 1 to 31. And then for your year, so you have here 1991, 1992 until 2021. Okay. All right. So how about for month? Okay, for month, naa siya kuan let's say, CBO month that, so kailangan mo siya add to it individually, no? So, January, February, March, April, ayan. So, let's check daw kung na. For VB Monday lang to VB Monday to VB Sunday. And M na lang. So, ang naa sa VB Monday to VB Sunday is na siya ang equivalent. Oops, wait. CBO month, walay loop na itabo. Probably Sunday ta mag-start. Sunday to Saturday. Kasi start of the day is Sunday. Sunday ba? Start of the week is Sunday, no? Is it Sunday? Check na to. Kasi
Sir.
Sunday ang Sunday yun. So sa Visual Basic, i-treat niya as the start of the day is Sunday. And then going to Monday to Saturday. So dili siya Monday to Sunday or Saturday. So mo yang trip no? So for month, don't know, wala yata. Or I guess there is equivalent, pero yeah, pwede siya if mag-array ka, no? Mas siguro dali mag-array. So let's say month equals to, so we have here pero i-type pa nimo tanan January, February, March. And then speaking of array, but this is array in Visual Basic. Now, if in case na say stop na to ni, so put it here, and then let's say we have here month. Let's see do that, no? So and then month, tapos M. So in this case, so by the way, this is array declaration in Visual Basic. No? So anyway, mag-discuss tab more on array. Okay, because this one is M is equal to 0 to 1 line na mag-start, walay 0 sa ay na to. So para makita niyo, 0 to, yeah, it starts with 0. Pero mag-start siya with 0. Anyway, pag ang array dere is dim val is equal to, let's say 9, ang iyang index is dili 0 to 9, 0 to 8. Diba sa other programming language kay 0 to 8. There's a Visual Basic kay 0 to 9 siya. So basically 10 ni siya ka numbers. Okay? So unlike sa uban is starts with 0, pag 9 na iyang index, it means 0 to 8 lang na siya. Pero there is 0 to 9 siya. Okay? So 0 to month that okay. Out of bounds. Wait. 3, 0, 1, 2. So are we going to put -1 here? So, So January, February, March. Yeah. Okay, so 0, kung 3 ni 0 to 3. No? 0 to 0, 1, 2. Wala labot ang wait ha. Sorry. Val 9 is equal to and then let's say mag-add ko isa ka month. There is a month with uh, val 9. I mean, val 9. I-add na ko siya sa akuang. So, I'm just trying to, anyway, mag-discuss puntaan eh sa RA. But I just would like to say this is like okay, so yeah, if dili siya i-cater ang 9, then my assumption is wrong, but that's what I have actually learned before. Yeah, okay, so yun, no, just that this is just to prove to you that the index value of your array is from 0 to 9. So meaning na appeal siya 9. So kasi sa other, 'di ba, sa other programming kay 8 lang nataman. Okay? Kasi length minus 1 ka index, which is kung by 10, of course wala na tayo index 10 unless imo ni siya ni-extend into 10. Okay? Yeah. So another one is you have here by the way, kaning ato ang combo box, nani siya style, no? Na drop down style. So you have here drop down style. Saan ang drop down style? Yan, there. So you can actually choose here simple drop down, drop down and drop down list. Pwede nimo na pilion like this one is simple, okay? Or drop down list. So may ana siya. So meaning when you run this when you run your program, you will give the user no opportunity to type anything here. No? So kung sa tong option na nadra, mao lang to iyang ma-select. Unlike dire, maka-type ka og any number. No? So let's say constant na imong values dira, so dapat naka-drop down list na siya. Okay? So for your year, pwede ra ka maka-input. So mas okay na maka-input siya ka aside sa unsa iyang mapili dire. But if you want, pwede na nimo siya pwede po na nimo siya i-program like a virgin without. So let's say CBO year that drop down style equals okay. Tapos drop down list. Pwede mo siya buhaton. So unsay difference nila na list o drop down. So i-try na to sa CBO year, a day, at drop down style. Or pwede po dito lagi hapon mo siya hindi mo siya i-program or i-code. So no one stopping you from doing that. Also, we have combo box style that, let's say, drop down. Okay, so ang year, drop down list, ang day, drop down. So, ang year drop down, so the same with month, and then this one is drop down list. Ang simple kay dili siya drop down, pero kay i-simple nato ni siya, and then you will see na si day would be in ani. Okay, so nana siya value pero dili nimo makita. Okay. Saan daw? Nasa value. Yes, nasa value pero hindi makita kasi naka-drop down list man siya. Pero behind it is naato siya value. So meaning kung na kay error trapping kung unsay na dito na value sa imuhang list is maulan to dapat iyang dawaton, so pwede na nimo siya something like that. Okay, another is, let's say we get the value input box and then ikutan na to na siya. Sa pag-click na to, natay store na to siya sa ato ang kuan. So dim val or value equal. So let's say string. And then right here, let's erase this one. And then this should be like value. So naka-global na siya. Enter a name na lang. So store na to siya dito sa ato ang combo box. So let's say store na to siya dito. So you can click enter name, let's say Ria alcohol. So we have here enter, okay. So check na to kung nabas Ria. So ito na akong gibutang si Ria. Ay, pa na akong gibutang. Sorry. So ibutang na to si Ria sa combo box 1. Okay. Combo box 1 that or ito na natin ibutang si Ria. Okay. Combo box 1 items that add value. You can also do that, meaning you take input from the user and then so let's say Ria, then Ria is there no sa atuang combo box. So aside sa inana, pwede pud ka instead of from input box, you can also use text box. So let's say this one now. So the moment you click this one, atong ma-store sa text, ma-store dito gikan sa text box would be, let's say, text box and that text. So pwede ko natin mo buhaton. So let's say, there are actually a lot of things you can do in Visual Basic. As long as you just follow the syntax, dili jud ka mawala sa imong program. So let's say Jessa. Okay, so Jezabel, just kilos ang bell without that lang. Yan, no? Jessa, Ria, and Moto. Si Moto. Okay? So Jessa, Ria, and Moto. Okay, so that's it, no? And then, any questions so far? You have questions, guys? Hello?
Wala, sir.
Wala. Okay. Sige, sumurag na board naman mo, no?